doctors use this quick test to determine biological age. Aging is inevitable. It's something that happens to all of us whether we like it or not. And while we can't stop the clock from ticking, there are things that we can do in order to slow down the aging process. Welcome back to Elderly Care Channel, your go-to place for senior wellness, nurturing your mind, body, and spirit. Today we're diving into a topic that's close to all of our hearts. Literally, the 5-second test that reveals if you're aging too fast. Now, this isn't about wrinkles or gray hairs, which are totally natural and beautiful parts of life. This is about understanding whether our bodies are aging faster than they should, whether we're heading towards health issues like heart disease or dementia before our time. But here's the good news. There's a simple, quick, and yes, only 5-second test that can give us some major clues. No, it's not about the number of candles on your birthday cake. This test is a game changer, and it's completely free. All you need is a smartphone with a camera and a well-lit room. Before we dive into the test itself, let's understand why it's so important. The health of our arteries is a key indicator of how fast we're aging. Arteries are the blood vessels that carry oxygen and nutrient-rich blood away from our heart to the rest of our body. When these arteries are clogged or narrowed, it means that vital stuff isn't getting to where it needs to go, which can lead to all sorts of health issues. And the kicker here is that artery problems don't usually show up until we're much older. But here's the silver lining. There are warning signs, and understanding them through this 5-second test could be life-changing. Now, you might be wondering, why arteries? Why not just focus on wrinkles and gray hairs? Well, because the health of our arteries is closely linked to our risk of heart disease and stroke, two leading causes of death worldwide. By checking our arteries, we're essentially taking a peek into our overall health and aging process. So what exactly does this test involve? It's all about looking at the whites of our eyes, specifically the blood vessels there. Here's what you need to do. Find a well-lit room, preferably natural light. Turn off any overhead lights that might cast a harsh shadow on your eyes. Gently pull down your lower eyelid, exposing the white part of your eye. Now take your smartphone and snap a photo. If you're feeling fancy, use the ultra-wide angle lens for a broader view. Look closely at the blood vessels on the whites of your eyes. Do they look clear and bright? Or are they filled with tiny dark spots? Those spots, my friends, are not just random blemishes. They're actually small deposits of fat, cholesterol, and other substances that have built up in your arteries. The medical term for this buildup is atherosclerosis, and it's a major risk factor for heart disease and stroke. This buildup doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow process that occurs over many years, often starting in our 20s. And here's the worrying part. It can go on for decades without any noticeable symptoms. Imagine living with a ticking time bomb without even knowing it. That's why this 5-second test is so crucial. It could potentially save your life by giving you an early heads up that you might be on the fast track to artery trouble. But you might be thinking, how serious is this really? After all, it's just a picture of the whites of my eyes. Well, let me put your mind at ease. While this test isn't a substitute for a professional medical checkup, it can certainly raise some red flags that you might want to discuss with your doctor. Remember, it's all about being proactive with your health. Some people might be concerned about the accuracy of this test. After all, it's not something you'd typically see in a doctor's office. But hear me out. This test taps into something doctors have been observing for ages. We've known for a long time that the health of our arteries is reflected in our eyes. Back in the 19th century, ophthalmologists were already documenting the connection between eye exams and cardiovascular disease. You see, the blood vessels in our eyes are like the veins and arteries all over our body. They carry vital nutrients and oxygen to keep our eyes healthy and functioning. So when there's a clog somewhere, our eyes are often the first to notice. But you might still be skeptical. Can a simple picture really tell me if I'm at risk? The answer is yes. Studies have shown that the presence of these dark spots in the whites of our eyes is strongly correlated with atherosclerosis. For example, a study published in the Journal of Clinical and Aesthetic Dermatology in 2017 found that people with a high number of dark spots had significantly higher levels of carotid artery stenosis, a condition in which the carotid arteries that supply blood to the brain are narrowed. Another study published in the Journal of Investigative Medicine in 2016 showed that these dark spots were associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular events, such as heart attack and stroke. Now let's talk about what these dark spots mean. Basically, the more spots you see, the higher the likelihood that you've got some arterial buildup going on. And the thicker or more numerous the spots appear, the more severe the potential atherosclerosis might be. I know it sounds a bit scary, but remember, knowledge is power. Understanding your risk factors is the first step towards taking control. And the good news is there are plenty of steps you can take to reduce your risk of heart disease and stroke. Eating a balanced diet, staying active, and not smoking are great places to start. Plus, this test isn't just a one-off thing. You can repeat it every few months to see if the situation is improving or worsening. If you notice an increase in the number or size of the dark spots, it might be time to schedule a chat with your doctor. They can perform tests like a lipid panel or a coronary artery calcium score to get a better understanding of your risk. Remember, you're the best advocate for your own health. So don't hesitate to speak up. Ask questions and make informed decisions based on what you find during your 5-second eye check. While this 5-second test can reveal a lot, it's not a complete picture of your health. Don't forget that there are other risk factors for heart disease and stroke that this test doesn't address directly, such as diabetes, high blood pressure, and a family history of heart disease. So it is still important to talk to your doctor about your overall health and any concerns you might have. So here's what you need to do next. Take the 5-second test yourself and share this video with someone who might benefit from it too. Together we can support each other in making healthier choices and being proactive about our health. Who knows? This could be the small change that makes a big difference in your health journey. And hey, while you're at it, hit that like button if you found this helpful, and subscribe for more health insights and tips. At the end of the day, it's not just about the length of our lives, it's about the quality of our lives. Stay healthy, stay happy, and stay informed. And remember, you're awesome just the way you are. Until next time, take care.